Hello, it's time for Mr. Magic Show. Today we're going to talk about video games coming or should come in 2020 or 21. And these are games that I wish were being made. We need these kind of games. First of all, the games in 2020 21, VR games. I love the Oculus Quest. But you got to do two things. You got to put the faces of your friends. You got to put your own face in there, and you got to be able to put the faces of your friends or your boss. You got to put your boss's face on the zombies that you shoot or the political person you don't like. Get that out in the video game world so there's no violence in this world. That is very important. Also, you got to get the screams. They could have done this 10 years ago. First, step one, record the screams of the lesser zombies. Wah, wah. Step two, record the screams of the boss zombies. I'm gonna eat your brains. Three, record what your character says when he has a minor wound. Ouchie, ouchie. Four, record what your character says when they have a medium wound. Yo, dude, that bites. Onward, onward. Why not? Why are we not doing this right now? Add so much. Your sounds, your friend sounds. And then even after your friends go away or if you miss them, you have that in your game. You got to make your life, you got to make your real life inside your game more, especially now that kids are playing like Roblox, whatever they call it. They're doing lots of gaming where they get to be a brother, sister, maybe their only child, or maybe they don't have kids. They can be a parent. That's very interesting. I like that. But my idea for the game master, the master of games, game master, master of games. In this, you have to find out who is the master of the games. You have first you play chess. You have a chess master. So they're like four characters go into the game master's castle, right? And inside you have to do all sorts of little games like chess, of course. But you have to decide. You can play the games, of course, but the main thing is different. You decide who wins the game. So. Because we've all been through the game. We played chess, we played Space Invaders, but you decide. So the game is about deciding who does better, and what you have is AI. But you can always take control of the AI to play the chess, to play the Space Invaders, and ever made, in my opinion, or the best game / art form ever made. We need more realistic Dungeons and Dragons. But the game of the game master, that's one thing. Also, I'd love to have more like a interface where dungeon master, game master like me can take people through other games. So they really have to think about before they've only been thinking, oh, all right, you're the player. And then, oh, Minecraft came along. Oh, you can build the world. But now we have to go even a step further. So you can control the stories inside the world. So you can use your creativity to not only affect the surroundings, but the interaction. But setting goals, because we have to set goals more. It's really important in video gaming to set goals and let the people set goals and let them make their own. You have to make them make their own levels. Like I love Mario Kart on my Wii. On my Switch. That's a that's a faux pas. Oh no, that's like calling Star Trek Star Wars, or like calling Star Trek 3 Wrath of Khan. Pretty close. But we have to start to let the game, not just players, we're all creators. It's like Dungeons and Dragons, not only the DM. A lot of times I'm DMing and I'm the blind DM. I can't see you really well, so Lots of times I'm DMing, and then a good, interested player will say, "Oh, let's inspect the, something I didn't think of. Oh, let's inspect the hay. There's got to be a needle in the haystack," just for an example. Or, oh, let's pretend to be uh, the butcher and go around and collect the meat. Something totally different, and then it sparks something new. So we have to be able to have people who can control video games that aren't they're not just the player, you're not just the set designer. We have to be the director, the director. Let people be the director. All right, so 2077 is coming. Another faux pas, I guess. But they pushed it back to 2077. No, just kidding. They did push it back, though. They'll keep pushing that one back. But I heard like Keanu Reeves is in it, a couple other, and I heard he liked it so much that they extended his character arc or whatever it is. But we also have to. Right now, we have voice modulators, face modulators. You can look like Keanu Reeves, you can sound like Keanu Reeves. Let's put that in the game, so we can make little movies, little cinematics. What I call them. Yeah, and what's my OG cred? Well, here's my cred. Okay, I've been playing since the original Atari, which I won. I won it because we were poor as dirt. These trucks from the radio station or Atari, I don't even know who it was. They came to schools, and no one had ever played it. They played the Space Invaders, the first game that came out. And the top three, I think it was the top three people from each school got their name in a raffle. And I did it instantly, I got my Galaga wrist, pre-Galaga, but it was, I won, came in first place, boom. And then I got a call a couple days later. They said, "You better listen at 3 o'clock on Friday." I love Friday. So I went, I was like 10, I think, 9, 10. And then 3 o'clock on Friday. The winner is Christopher Parsons, young Mr. Magic. And we won the Atari. We were poorest, some of the poorest people, but we were the first to have the Atari. Might even have black and white TV, But we had the Atari. We're the first in the neighborhoods because of my luck and my skill, natural skill at video games. And I think video games are just an extension of your creativity. And even as a kid, when we would play, I would always add things to it. There's always ways to add. Always, commentary, art. You can wear your shirt, whatever you like. This is it taught us to not just watch the movie, but be part of the movie. Go into the movie. Live the movie. You can watch Brad Pitt or you can be Brad Pitt. You know what I'm saying? Watch Darkon the movie and you'll realize that. Yeah, let's do a Darkon game. Let's do a LARP game. Because people like that. Sure, you have some of the action, the LARP action, live action role play, but also you have the select. You want to select your certain style. Then, of course, you'll have interaction. LARP game. You need a LARP online. It helps people. They can create their exact self, their new self that they want to be. Banor the Brave, Yaz Bataz the Crazy. But when they go out, that's great. But then sometimes they want to continue that persona. So we need a LARP video game. And again, something that you can control with your creativity. You can add to all video games now. We should add to them with our creativity, especially now. Wow, VR is really well done. Except the repetition, like I said, the faces of the zombies. Why not? Why not? Oh, put in your favorite football team, whatever, soccer team, whoever. So it's so easy now to do this kind of stuff. You got to get to it. Image, you got to be able to put your own images, the people you want in there. It's really important going forward. Don't just put the famous people. You have to be able to input the faces that you want and the sounds that you want. Next, we have to do full-on movies. Why not? The book the awesome book Ready Player One, part of the challenges was acting in the movies. Like he had to go back to um, war games, and he had to get the right. He had to recite. Like for me, I would go back to Holy Grail. You try to see if you remember. Uh, it was but a flesh wound. This kind of thing. What is your favorite color? Red, no blue. This kind of thing. But we need a video game like that, especially with VR. With VR, wow, it really does put you right there. So you can choose the character you want to be, and everyone else says their lines, and you can have your lines written, or you can get points for how much you get it correct. They can show it to you and then go away, and you have to remember it. Or if you're like me with the old movies, you know what's up. We have those old movies. It's just we need to immerse more. We got to get into it. That's the game I want to see in 2020 or 2021. You go in. You are Keanu Reeves in Point Break. Hey, bro, don't forget to wind your watch. Oh, no. I mean, dude, Patrick Swayze, bro, Dirty Dancer. We are FBI agents. Oh, you're okay. So remember that. There's even a play about Point Break. This is true. My friend saw it in Austin, Texas, but I heard it's moving all around the country. What they do is they have full staff, everyone is practice rehearsed except the Keanu Reeves, the character. For that, they pick someone from the crowd and they give them cards and they encourage them to read it like this because his acting was sort of like that. It was good fun though. That's a dream come true. You want to surprise me? You want to give me a great birthday gift? Let me do that. Let me play Keanu Reeves, dude, in the Point Break play or Point Break game. Everyone wants to do that. Come on, Atari, man. You're the best in my opinion. I won as a kid. I want to win as an adult by giving you this idea. We have to go into the movies. We want to be the. Come on, everyone wants to be in the movies. So I think the technology is there, especially with VR, man. Oculus Quest, dude, that really, it's a jump in the no wires. It's the visuals. I'm visually impaired, so I can see like 30%, but now I see 30% of like the universe flying through space. It helps people who are visually impaired, so thank you for that. And the video games have to start thinking about people with disabilities. And, older people can keep them young. Video games are magic. Atari, it sounds like a magical word. Abracadabra, Atari, ka-dum, right? You are magic, Atari. I'm talking straight to you. You got to get the people's faces and sounds. Oh, if the sounds, why not do the sounds? Come on. You have to do the sound. What does a zombie make when he dies? What does it make when it bites you? You got to do this. It's so much fun. It's going to make people feel good about themselves. Sure, they'll use their brother's face or something. He'll get sad, but then he'll get back at him, and then they'll think it's fun. And like I said, when someone goes away or passes on, we still have them inside our video game. It'll keep us close. I think we can do it. I really want to do that. We got to do it. Why have we not done it? I mean, even in the 90s, there was like this arcade. In the arcade, you were like a robot. It took a picture of your face and put it on top of the robot. Okay, so we've had the technology for years and years and years and years, but I guess people are worried about they'll use pornography or what? But it's at your house, so whatever you want to put on your camera, you're not making other people. Game master game. We got to find out. You choose who won the game. So we got to start looking different. It's not just boom, boom, boom. I got the most points. No. People get to do different things. I like Roblox. You get to play a family member. Which I said many years ago. Actually, I actually have a name for it, and I worked it out. But you guys taking care of that, so that's good. I'm a serious gamer, man. I mean, how many hours do you game every day? And I think there's like phone gaming, then there's computer gaming, console gaming, and then there's Dungeons and Dragons, which is you go in and it's all around you. Especially if you're visually impaired like me, I'm the blind DM. Um, we need more, audio things for visually impaired people, but also video games where regular people get to play as disabled people. I think this is very important. The handy heroes is what I call it. So, yeah, sure. Maybe you're visually impaired, you're blind. That's easy to do. Maybe the ink is invisible until you shine some lights on it. Um, of course, the audio, you can have audio problems, you can have audio dysmorphia, you can give disabilities that they have to overcome. Why haven't we done that in games? And it brings awareness to the issues, like it's the issues that disabled people face, which is good. It's sort of like, how you treat people one way and then you work at a restaurant. So everyone should work at a restaurant once in their life, right? Because then you'll treat people better who work at a restaurant. The same thing with disabled people. You should be disabled, and then I think the compassion will come, especially for kids nowadays. Even my own daughter, she's not compassionate enough. Like for animals, she is, but not for people. All right, my last game I want to talk about is familiars. One of the best things about Dungeons and Dragons is that the magic user class has a familiar. A witch black cat is like the oldest stereotype of familiar. But my daughter, she started at 5 years old playing Dungeons and Dragons. She started playing a mini dragon familiar. She would, So kids love to be the familiar of a wizard, and I just familiars that can see through the eyes of their masters. And not just in my world when I play Dungeons and Dragons, it's not just the magic user class. I say my world is magical itself. So every person was born connected to another animal, a familiar. So we need a game where you can be yourself and you can also see through the familiar, or we're just the familiars. Maybe we're just the familiars and we interact with other familiars, we gain powers, and or both. You could be the master and you get to add your creativity to the story. And you can name your familiar after old pets that have passed or new pets or the pet you really want but you can't get because you live in the city or something. All right, but let's get those games. Let's get those games moving. 2020, 2021, and everybody stay safe. Don't forget to wash your phones and wash your microphones. Hey, that's another kind of phone.